offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Wednesday, with the Dow dropping about 0.2%, the S&P 500 finishing flat, and the Nasdaq ticking up about 0.3%. Investors were focused on tariff negotiations, with President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping expected to speak sometime this week. Wednesday was President Trump's deadline for trading partners to make their best offers to keep further tariffs from taking effect in early July. But Regan Capital's chief investment officer, Skylar Wynand, says a resolution to trade uncertainty could still be a ways off.
Well, we've got about 3.5 years left in this administration. We got about 1.5 years until the midterms. We really won't see any true resolution until one of those two at least take place, at least until the midterms. China spent something like $280 billion bolstering auto manufacturing. They've been playing this game for a long time of onshoring, and the United States is just getting to play this game of onshoring, and onshoring is going to take 5 to 10 years.
Early stock market gains on Wednesday evaporated later in the session as weak data for May revealed the toll President Trump's erratic trade policies have taken on the U.S. economy. Last month, the services sector contracted for the first time in nearly a year, and the ADP National Employment Report showed U.S. private employers added the fewest number of workers in more than 2 years. Stocks on the move Wednesday included Tesla, which fell 3.5% as the electric vehicle maker's sales dropped for the 5th straight month in big European markets. Shares of Meta Platforms jumped more than 3% after J.P. Morgan raised its price target on the stock. And shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose after the company reported second quarter revenue and profit that beat estimates, driven by demand for its artificial intelligence servers and hybrid cloud segment.
Well, partly cloudy early. Thunderstorms developing this afternoon. Gusty winds, small hail possible, and a high of 80. Overcast tonight. Stray shower thunderstorm possible. Lows in the low 60s. Friday wrapping up the work week with thunderstorms and mid-70s for a high. Saturday partly cloudy, mid-70s. Sunday showers, upper 60s. Monday rain showers with temperatures in the low 70s. Meadville this morning at 62 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 61. Titusville 60. Franklin 61. Oil City 59 degrees here at 7:08. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. From Titusville Market Square, we've got our friend Susan and Bill with us here this morning. Good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Is it summer yet?
We're dressed for it. We didn't talk, and we're both in our bright orange, so we're...
Plus, I got my once-a-year shirt I wear on the last day of school here.
School's out for the summer.
Are the kids going to be running around acting all crazy today?
They've been all week. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's a tough time, isn't it? Like this time and right around Christmas. Although I hear Easter's really crazy, too. People get excited about Easter.
Yeah.
All that candy. That's okay. Hey, a lot going on at Titusville Market Square. Kicks off always a busy summer, always a lot of fun at Titusville Market Square. Before we get into vendors and things coming up, Bill, you brought in quite a collection here this morning.
Oh, yeah. So I'm the comic book guy here at the store, and I've been collecting for 40 years. That's my main thing that I really like. Our business, we sell like mostly new comics every week, but my really favorite thing to do is to get the old comic books. So I'm always asking the public, hey, if you have any old comic book collections, come in. I'll buy whole collections, which I've done lately. Specifically, I went to an auction down in Penn State about a month ago, and there was a bunch of great old comic books. I was bidding against a lot of people, so like they were going for crazy prices. But I did pick up a few beauties here. This is Superman number 4, okay, from 1940. It's available at my store for sale.
You're not keeping that?
Well, I need the money.
Okay.
So, I'll keep it. It's a great comic. If it draws people, if I don't sell it, that's fine. If it draws people in, because this is like the best comic book I've had in a long time. It's actually the first Superman with original material in it. Issues 1, 2, and 3 were reprints from Action Comics. So this is kind of like the first of a series. It actually has Lex Luthor on the cover, and there's a second mention of the Daily Planet in it. It's a kind of a rough shape book. I am asking $3,000 for it, which is a bargain, because a mint book like this might be $100,000. So condition is everything. So
okay, here's a dumb question.
Yeah,
somebody buys that. How do they handle it? Can they go through and read it, or is it
very carefully with rubber gloves?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. Even like today, when the people like grab a new comic off the shelf, I go crazy, because like little kids will bend it. It's like, hey, you never know,
Yeah. And where should people store their comics?
You want them in a cool, dark, dry place, preferably in Mylar bags. This right now is in a plastic bag. You don't want to keep them forever in plastic, because they do deteriorate. So, a cool, dry place. You want them upright, backing board, well protected. So.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Here's another one I got here is Wonder Woman. This is from 1950. Of course, she came out in the early 40s, but this is kind of a nice one from the early 50s. And then I did get some from the 60s. I got Spider-Man here. I have several of these. I bought maybe about 15 different ones. Spider-Man's from the late 60s. Same thing with Fantastic Four. And then here's one from the 70s. It's a Batman Detective Comics from the 70s. So all these are available for sale at the store. Again, I encourage people, if you're cleaning out your attic and stuff, and if you want to make a little bit of money, bring your collections in. I buy collections all the time.
So I have to ask, when you hold those up, I look at the art on them, and it's amazing. I'm not saying that if you go in and look at comics today, they're awesome, they're amazing. But what is it about that style, that time, where it just really is different and stands out? It's amazing.
It's just like the old days. Things were a little bit rougher and simpler. I actually like the older stuff better. Today's artists are more realistic. Like this is kind of a little bit cartoony, but I like that rough style. I don't know. It's just it's just fun to see. And it got a little bit more in the 70s. It got a little bit more realistic. So I don't know. Everybody likes a different art style. It's just
yeah. Well, it's incredible. So people can go in and actually. Maybe from behind the counter, right? Look at those. So
Absolutely. Yeah, these are under a glass case.
Yeah, you're not going to be touching them, but
no, it's like a fine jewelry store. You want to come in, I'll pull it out and we can open it up and look carefully with our rubber gloves. But
wow.
But they're actually fun to collect and read. And
so I have to ask, you went to State College to pick that up. Were there other comics that were there that you were like, I really want that, but you weren't able to get? Okay.
It was a really unique auction because I usually go to antique auctions and there's all kinds of stuff and maybe there's one little bit of comic books. Well, this was totally comic books. It was some person that passed away, had a huge collection. There's a lot of stuff that I would have liked to get, but I just couldn't afford it. There was guys easily spending a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what was one of the larger dollar amounts to hear something went for? I'm
well,
just curious.
The one I bought actually. But no, there was others. I just couldn't compete. I had a budget and I spent so much money.
And you stuck to it?
I had to. I mean,
Yeah, I do that too once in a while, Bill, and I usually don't stick to it.
Yeah, and I actually brought cash. I knew how much cash I had on me, and I couldn't spend any more.
That helps. Well, that's really cool that you can go in and see that. And then again, if somebody wants it, it's for sale. So
absolutely. And I also wanted to mention, I have other dealers similar to me that, like we have our vinyl record dealer. He'll do the same thing. Bring your vinyl record collection in. I have contact information for him. Then we have a coin dealer, Brian's Coins. We have a card, we have contact information. If you have silver, gold, or coins for sale. And then also we have Dave McCauley, who's our sport card guy. If you have, sport cards, come on in, bring them in, make an appointment with one of these vendors. So, and also we have a lot of antique dealers. So like we have people that come in and want to sell, stuff to us. We don't personally buy, but we'll send you to the vendor that would buy it. So
can somebody come in and let's say they're looking for a comic book? Can they talk to you and say, hey, Bill, can you help me find this? And you can go and do that, or
yeah, absolutely.
If it's a card collector, talk to him and say, hey, I'm looking for this card. Can you help me find it?
Right. Well, for the past year, and I have thousands and thousands of comics. I've been organizing, quite a bit in my collection. So if people come in and they want a specific issue, I can go right to it right now. Like maybe a lot of comic stores, it's just like random stuff, but I've really been working hard organizing. So like if you want something, I go right, like a librarian, I go right there and find it for you. So
okay, that's why nothing's getting done at the store, Susan.
Yeah, I know what's happening.
Well, I'm there late nights and I'm categorizing and organizing.
Yeah, that's right. Now, so you've always mentioned, comics are a great way to get, young readers started with reading, but from comics to and we're going to get into these other books on the table. You've got things at Titusville Market Square for everybody. Susan, you do a great job at promoting local writers and local artists. Talk about some of the other things you have.
Okay.
Here's our notes.
Get my glasses on. Bill's got the notes. Are you... Well, we have a...
I'll talk about the new one first. Let me just talk about...
we have a book signing for him scheduled.
Oh, okay.
We have a new guy here, Robert Pringle. Again, we have like 5 or 6 different local writers, so we want you to support our local writers. But Robert Pringle has a new book out.
This is Eric Yoder.
I'm sorry, Eric Yoder. Eric Yoder.
I was here for something.
Thank you. Yeah, Eric Yoder is our new guy, and he's writing us like a Dungeons and Dragon type of story. And in conjunction with that, we're having a Dungeon and Dragon gaming in our store every last Sunday of the month. Okay. So our next one coming up is June 29th. The last Sunday of this month, we're having a D&D. And in July is what, 27th?
July 27th.
July 27th, we're doing a D&D thing. And also he's going to come and sign a book here.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have a good combination
those two things kind of went hand in hand. But our other local authors here, Catherine Shea. We have Kim Cornell.
Here's Catherine Shea.
Here's Catherine Shea's book. Kim Cornell. Is that from, she also from like the Tynesta area.
Oh, yeah, okay.
A river runs through me. We have Doris England, In the Forest. And we have Sharon Bailey, who has a book on the Ukrainian eggs. And we did not have her this year, but sometimes at Easter time she comes in and does a demonstration on painting the Ukrainian eggs. So we try to tie events into these folks also.
And In the Forest is kind of like a realistic stories about events that happened between 1927 and the early 50s in the Tionesta area. So it's kind of recollections from a writer, an older lady, of course, if she lived through that.
And then speaking of Tionesta, Robert Pringle, which he went to a show, so we don't have any of his books, but we have to get restocked. He writes a lot of things about Tionesta locally, Sasquatch. I'm trying to think what his other. He's got 2 or 3 books,
which is really a big subject around here, which is exciting.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. So folks can come into the store and find these books, and okay, that's great.
We kind of have them all in a bookshelf area, our author's corner, so to speak. So we kind of keep the locals together there, and we were just talking as we're having our meeting before your show. We do our anniversary every October, so Aaron's special is July 27th, but we're going to try to bring everybody in during our anniversary week and have all the authors in along with some other stuff coming in October, like last week of October.
People are always talking about wanting to find that, that special gift, something unique. These are perfect. It's got a local tie, and people can enjoy them. And it's great it's always exciting when you have somebody over and you're like, hey, I got to show you this book. It's from a local author, and it's about this area. It's great.
Yeah.
The tourists that come here want to know about our area, so we're always promoting Titusville and everything local.
That's great. So again, from comics to those types of books, you got something available for everybody.
All the readers.
Father's Day coming up, and we have
yes.
all kinds of gifts for fathers as well. We've got tools and things like that. Different vendors.
Outdoor guy with the knives now; those have been very successful in some of the outdoor hunting things and so forth. So.
Well, Bill, before we wrap up with you, is just kind of again go over the comics that are available, because there's something for everybody there.
Yeah, recap tons of stuff. I have stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and then the modern comic books. So come in, and if you want to just find out what's going on in the new comics, I got everything on the wall, new comics, and games and toys and whatever.
All right, and if it's not there, they can talk to you about maybe finding it for them.
I'll find it. I'll go out and find it. Yeah.
Okay. Especially this summer when he's done with school, right?
Yeah,
He'll
absolutely.
travel the world to get your books.
Yeah, people go hunting for deer. I go out hunting for comic books. So
excellent. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. And nobody gets hurt.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Well, Susan, there's a lot of other things going on. You mentioned some of the other vendors that you have, but again, you're coming in the summer months where, again, from adding vendors to events, there's a lot happening this summer.
We are really, when I'm hearing myself say this now, I'm starting to panic. We are about 2 months out on Oil Festival. And I've been hot and heavy on planning our wine and tasting event. So we're having I believe it's our 6th annual Wine, Shine, and Brew with food tasting at the market. We have Broken Straw Winery, who's our local in-house winery, and we bring other folks in to complement them. I'm just finalizing the final lineup, but I know we do have Twisted Vine, which is a local favorite, coming in to join Broken Straw. Star Hill Winery is another popular one, and I'm just confirming a couple more. On the distillery side, we have Grumpy Goat Distillery. He's a lot of fun, coming back from Franklin. And on the brew side, for Wine, Shine, and Brew, we have Fat Chad's Tap and Steakhouse and Oars Brewing locally. And I'm potentially waiting for a call for a third brewery. And then we're really hoping for that mead. We haven't had a mead tasting at our event, and last minute there was a conflict last year, so we are hoping to see Blissful Meads on Friday night, August 8th. So,
wow. Now, my unofficial countdown here is about 64 days, so there's no pressure.
I know it's August 8th, and I know Sunday is the 8th. So.
There's a lot that goes into you're almost planning for this almost year-round, or at least having conversations, aren't you?
We really are. I mean, from the time the event ends, we get through fall and maybe Christmas, but by January, we're already starting our planning, for the following August. So it takes a lot of work.
It does. So folks can find a lot of great things from Pot of Gold Dairy to other food related. It's great to see people stopping on their way to work or way home from work, running in, grabbing milk or something to eat. So you have that aspect
Yeah,
too.
it really is convenient, and you just made me think. They were here this last time, but our new, I guess they're a local dairy too, Henley's Farm and their beef products. They haven't brought the beef in, but they have whole roaster chickens that look wonderful. Those are selling greatly, and then they do a raw milk. They're making homemade butter, homemade yogurts, and they are providing us with duck eggs. We had duck eggs a while back. That vendor left, and we've had constant requests for it, so now we have duck eggs again. And eggs finally are under control, I'm happy to report. An ample supply, and the price is good.
Excellent, excellent. But you've always...
Excellent.
Excellent. But, that was very important to you, especially through Easter, making sure you had products available for your customers and that they were well priced.
Right.
That's hard to do, and sometimes you have folks who might not put that much attention to that. They're like, we'll just sell it for whatever. But you really did a good job of thinking, okay, how do we get it? How can we keep prices affordable?
Right. With what was happening in the industry, it was, and there's still little things going on, but fortunately this time of year with the weather nice, our local farms are kind of mass producing. So we had to limit eggs for a while, but now all the farms are up. I think the chickens quit laying so much in the wintertime, but ample supply if you like those farm fresh eggs. So we have no supply chain issue there.
Well, it probably didn't help that we had snow from November through almost last month, it feels like.
Seemed like a longer winter than I remember.
Yeah, like consistent. Hey, and then as you were checking out, it's very hard not to want to look into the display cases and see the pastries and the breads.
Oh, right. Our new, we're still trying to add to that. Oh my gosh, Ed down there that does the food truck there at the VFW does these homemade breads. The Amish fry pies, I've had to give them up.
Oh no!
Not give them up, but give them up personally.
Yeah. So somebody asked me about that. What are they?
They are. I don't know whether you call it like a moon pie. They sell them at the local Amish bakeries too, but it's just a fruit-filled, the lunchbox, like more commercialized.
Yes.
They're that size of a pie. They're half moon, but they're so like fresh and local. Homemade. That's the word I'm looking for. They're homemade tasting. It's not commercialized, but I think all the flavors are good. There's blueberry, peach, and apple, and there's a strawberry, and I'm forgetting another one, but they're very good.
Okay, and then that looks.
And Clark's Donuts. How can I forget our old standby? We've been doing that for a couple years, but still continuing to offer the Clark's Donuts, and we have a cookie line in there too. But we're trying to keep that bakery case kind of. There's a new line of breads we have too. The artisan breads. They're sourdough, everything bread, and a plain sourdough. Those have become very popular. So.
Is it hard not to be just out and about? And I'm sure you're always kind of monitoring what's going on out there. If you see, something happening with the local tie, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, how do we incorporate that? Or, are we able to sell that product at our store?
Right. It's, and just like when in the beginning with Titusville Dairy, I saw the light there, and, we've been trying to get other local folks to join in with us. We had one guy that did the knives that left, but we have that new hunting booth, but not specifically. But we'd maybe like to do a tie-in like Great Eastern Cutlery. We've talked to them. I know they have their own showroom, but maybe there's a time they could do a satellite outlet booth, that type of thing that ties in with what we do. So. I guess if you're listening and you have an item and you even have your own store, sometimes we have the 7-day-a-week hours.
Yes.
It's a way to keep an outlet and keep your name out there.
Well, and you're right downtown. A lot of these places are, outside, or as you were saying, maybe they don't have that person they can dedicate just to watching the store. So maybe it's an employee running in if somebody comes in, whereas if they have something with you.
Right. And then with summer and the train running, the OC&T Railroad, we see a lot of tourism. Folks are always looking for something to do, so it's nice. Even on the Sunday train, we do that short day. But they're always like, what do we do after we get off the train? They want to pick up something local, and they have a wonderful gift shop at the train station. But if they want to venture into the town, we have, we're there for Sundays.
It seems like there's some really pockets out of the year would be a really good time to launch your store. And I would imagine before holidays, But I would imagine, like right now, you get in and get situated at, right before, a couple months out of Oil Festival.
Right. There is a couple times with the pending festival, but then now people are coming into the area to ride the train, the trails system that we have. I think the National Trails Day event is coming up this weekend also. So we'll see an influx of people, tourists into Titusville for that. Fall is always good too, leading into the Christmas season. Seems like, our business is steady with the amount of food we have in January, but on like the gift item side, the non-food products seems to be a little slow in January, but then right again we're back into February and gifting season, Valentine's Day, we do our strawberries, and it just goes from there. So we only get to have a half a breath in January.
Do you have a favorite time of year?
I don't know. I guess summertime. Yeah, summertime. This is a lot of work, but I love this event. It's a good kind of tired. I really, once the event pulls off on Oil Festival weekend, and I can just breathe Friday night and then enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Well, and there's really a lot of excitement. You got a lot of people that come back into town over the summer months, and as you say, they're riding the train or going to Drake Well or doing bike events or trail runs or whatever it is. Brings in a lot of folks to the area, and when they come in, it's got to be exciting just to see the smiles. Like, hey, this place is really cool.
Class reunions.
Yes,
it's. I double timed it last year, hosting my class reunion simultaneously with the wine event. I had another class that's meeting this year that was kind of picking my brain on how I did that. I'm like, well,
Bill's not playing this year, is he?
Yeah, no, I don't know if he is. His college friend that's very talented on the piano might be the opening act for the band.
Okay.
We have Local Flashback coming back again as our band for that event night, so everybody enjoys that. And even if you're not inside the tented area, anybody is welcome. Folks just milling about for Oil Festival at night can come over and enjoy a street dance,
and tickets,
so to speak.
Tickets will be on sale when?
They're going to start probably about mid-month here, which is really getting very close. They're on order, so as soon as I have the tickets in, they'll be available almost by the 15th.
Susan, great having you this morning. Boy, there's so much going on.
I know.
Stop in the Titusville Market Square. Thank you.
Thanks.
Dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a travel ban on nationals of 12 countries, barring them from entering the United States. He said the executive order he signed Wednesday was needed to protect against what he called foreign terrorists and other security threats. In a video posted to X, he specifically mentioned Sunday's attack in Colorado that targeted a pro-Israel march.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas.
Egypt is not on the list of countries facing travel limits, even though the suspect in the Boulder firebomb attack was an Egyptian national. However, Trump said the list could be revised and new countries could be added. Starting June 9th, there will be a total ban on nationals from Afghanistan, Yemen and Iran in the Middle East, Myanmar and Haiti, and those from 7 African nations such as Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. Meanwhile, there will be partial restrictions on people from 7 other countries In that list, there's Cuba, Laos, Venezuela, and Sierra Leone. These all echo an entry ban Trump imposed at the start of his first term on several mainly Muslim countries. That ban was repealed by the Biden administration later on. Then, in a campaign speech in October 2023, Trump previewed a plan to restrict people from Gaza, Libya, Somalia, and other places.
If you're coming from somewhere full of people who want to kill Americans, we will not let you in.
Wednesday's new bans are part of a broader immigration crackdown since the start of Trump's second term. In January 2025, he issued an executive order beefing up security vetting of foreigners seeking admission to the U.S. to root out national security threats. That order directed several cabinet members to give a list of countries to suspend travel from because their, quote, vetting and screening information is so deficient. In response to Trump's order Wednesday, Venezuela's Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, called the U.S. government fascist on state TV.
Honestly, being in the US is a big risk for anyone, not just Venezuelans. If you're really that foolish, then go to the United States.
Somalia immediately pledged to work with Washington to address security issues, according to a statement from its ambassador to the U.S.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old. So it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
This Memorial Day, Community Chevrolet honors those who fought to save the freedoms we enjoy today. And the least we can do is save you more than $9,000 off America's favorite truck, the Silverado.
You have my undivided attention. Ooh, I smell hot dogs.
You can also save more than $5,000 off the Silverado 2500 and more than $2,000 off the 2025 Colorado.
I may be colorblind, but these deals seem red, white, and true.
Community Chevy's Memorial Day sale only during Military Appreciation Month at Community Chevrolet.
A new show at New York's Hayden Planetarium reveals new secrets about our galaxy.
On our travels, we can expect to pass.
Encounters in the Milky Way, narrated by actor Pedro Pascal, is a tour of real data from space revealing cosmic insights. One of the most significant findings to emerge during the show's production came from modeling the Oort cloud, a distant region filled with icy debris left over from the formation of the solar system. To make the show visually pop, scientists experimented with turning up the brightness of particles in the Oort cloud. Astrophysicist and show curator Jackie Faherty says that's when they noticed something they had never seen before.
When we saw it, we were blown away. It was a spiral shape, almost looking like a galaxy itself, but it's shaped by the forces of the galaxy itself, of the what we call the tidal force of the galaxy. So this spiral structure was brand new, and we immediately wrote up a paper for an astrophysical journal, and it's now a published part of astronomers' knowledge of what the outer part of our solar system looks like.
On top of charting the dynamics of the solar system, the show looks out at the broader Milky Way and beyond. Carter Emmart is the show's director, as well as director of astrovisualization at the wider American Museum of Natural History. He says the show aims to deliver on the scientific front, while also reminding audiences of their connection to the cosmos.
You can look out at the stars, and you're looking back into time, and you're looking back into the times of lives. You're looking at light that's arriving from different epochs and different periods, and you can say, you know, a deceased relative or what have you. You're seeing light that really is still part of their time. That's where it gets kind of spiritual. And, you know, and that's real. And that's, you know, that's what I think holds us together in a way.
Encounters in the Milky Way debuts at the Hayden Planetarium on June 9th.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Wednesday, with the Dow dropping about 0.2%, the S&P 500 finishing flat, and the Nasdaq ticking up about 0.3%. Investors were focused on tariff negotiations, with President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping expected to speak sometime this week. Wednesday was President Trump's deadline for trading partners to make their best offers to keep further tariffs from taking effect in early July. But Regan Capital's chief investment officer, Skylar Wynand, says a resolution to trade uncertainty could still be a ways off.
Well, we've got about 3.5 years left in this administration. We got about 1.5 years until the midterms. We really won't see any true resolution until one of those two at least take place, at least until the midterms. China spent something like $280 billion bolstering auto manufacturing. They've been playing this game for a long time of onshoring, and the United States is just getting to play this game of onshoring, and onshoring is going to take 5 to 10 years.
Early stock market gains on Wednesday evaporated later in the session as weak data for May revealed the toll President Trump's erratic trade policies have taken on the U.S. economy. Last month, the services sector contracted for the first time in nearly a year, and the ADP National Employment Report showed U.S. private employers added the fewest number of workers in more than 2 years. Stocks on the move Wednesday included Tesla, which fell 3.5% as the electric vehicle maker's sales dropped for the fifth straight month in big European markets. Shares of Meta Platforms jumped more than 3% after J.P. Morgan raised its price target on the stock. And shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose after the company reported second quarter revenue and profit that beat estimates, driven by demand for its artificial intelligence servers and hybrid cloud segment.
From when Sam Altman thinks AI will make a leap to how Meta plans to automate advertising, this is AI Weekly. Sam Altman is expecting big things in 2026. Speaking in San Francisco, he said that's when AI agents could start functioning at a higher level.
I would bet next year that in some limited cases, at least, in some small ways, we start to see agents that can help us discover new knowledge or can figure out solutions to business problems that are kind of very non-trivial. Right now, it's very much in the category of, okay, if you've got some like repetitive cognitive work, we can automate it at a kind of a low level on a short time horizon. And as that expands to longer time horizons and higher levels, at some point you get an AI scientist, an AI agent that can go discover new science. And that will be kind of a significant moment in the world.
DeepSeek has updated its bots for the first time since January, when the debut of the low-cost, high-power model rocked the tech sector. The Chinese startup said the new version of its R1 reasoning system offered significant improvements. Benchmark tests showed it was closing the gap with products from OpenAI and Google. Meta aims to fully automate advertising with AI by the end of next year. The Wall Street Journal says firms will be able to provide a product image and a budget, and leave bots to make and target ads. Companies will reportedly be able to personalize marketing so that viewers see different versions of ads in real time, based on factors including their location. And a Swiss team has developed a bot that can play badminton against humans. The system uses so-called reinforcement learning, a type of AI that improves by repeating tasks. Researchers say it paves the way for bots that can do other roles, like search and rescue.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Thursday morning. Partly cloudy skies, thunderstorms developing this afternoon, gusty winds, small hail possible, and a high of 80. Overcast tonight, stray shower thunderstorm possible with lows in the low 60s. Friday, thunderstorms, mid-70s. Saturday, partly cloudy, mid-70s. Sunday, showers, upper 60s. Monday, rain showers with temperatures in the low 70s. Meadville at 64 degrees here this morning. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 63. 60 in Titusville, 63 in Franklin, 60 in Oil City. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Happy Thursday, getting you closer to the weekend. For a lot of kids, they're wrapping up their school year this week. So, yeah, busy time as you are getting ready for birthdays and what we're celebrating.
Yeah.
We'll do that here in a few moments.
I'm trying to get the page to work. Sorry, I'm like not.
There's a little
paying
hiccup
to you.
here this morning, I think, with stuff. I was just reading an article about. Well, there's a couple things that grabbed my attention here this morning. Or actually, over the last 24 hours or so. Let me see. You know what I'm seeing a lot of?
What?
And it's awesome. A lot of touristy type posts on social media of places to visit in our area.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I've been doing these screenshots because I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to go and maybe explore, this place or that place. I saw this, and I mentioned this to you last night, and you gave me the appropriate look for it. This is, according to research, a middle school science project revealed that 70% of the time, ice from fast food restaurants is dirtier than toilet water.
Yum.
Yeah. So you might, I don't know, want to test that yourself just to be sure.
How do you test it? Just by saying no ice, please, in my drinks?
Oh, you've never seen these tests? Well, no, you can take it home, kind of melt it down. Yeah, you can see. They were doing this with snow a couple months ago. I was watching them to see how dirty snow was. Yeah.
Wait, so we were eating snow as kids, and it just,
Yeah. Here's another study. Sandwiches, people actually spend money to have these studies done.
Mm-hmm.
Sandwiches taste better if they're made by somebody else.
I really...
What?
No.
Everybody says it about a salad, right? Why is it when you go have a salad somewhere else, it's always better than the salad you make?
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's true.
Same thing with sandwiches. A sandwich always tastes better if somebody else makes it, according to this study.
I don't know. I guess here's my thing. Like, if it's peanut butter and jelly, I have like a certain ratio of peanut butter to jelly, and nobody quite meets my expectations. So I wouldn't say that is true if it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I just have this ratio. I know.
When have you ever walked into a restaurant and ordered a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No, I mean, because I'm just saying if you made it or our kids made it or whatever.
What is it that you want in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I just know how much peanut butter to jelly ratio that I need to have to be happy with the sandwich. That's all. I'm just,
Okay, but you can't tell me what that is.
I can't. I just do it. And I can't expect you to make me a sandwich because you're not going to know my ratio, and it's not you, it's me. Yeah. So it's me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done now.
But is there a real sandwich that
I don't even know.
you would order somewhere else and go, yeah, this is better than what I could make?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I don't think it's fair for me. Like,
There's something different about a homemade meal versus going to a restaurant.
Yeah, I know. Like, I might go and say, oh, this is good, but I probably would have used less this or more this on it. And that's how I would make it for myself. So I can't really...
Okay, so here's a good example. I do this with like Alfredo, chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
There's one place that I think is like at the top of my list of like the best Alfredo sauce. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's a chain, which is kind of weird, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very Americanized. That's why I...
Okay.
But go ahead.
And so I would put Olive Garden, their chicken Alfredo at the top.
Okay.
There's a restaurant here that's tied for second with Your Homemade. So I would rank Your Homemade towards the top of my list.
Oh, great.
So when I'm out, if I get chicken Alfredo somewhere else, a lot of times I'm comparing it to yours and that top spot one.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
And almost all the time, it doesn't quite meet that.
The standards.
Yeah. But I will do that. So that's not necessarily a sandwich, but with chicken Alfredo. So it's rare that I'll order chicken Alfredo outside of those couple places, just because I'm afraid. Because sometimes it's too garlicky, or sometimes it's too, I don't know what, or there's no taste to it whatsoever. We experienced that. I think our son ordered that last week at a restaurant, and I had a little bite, and there was like no taste to it. It was.
Oh yeah.
So
yes.
Again, but I'm comparing that to yours and. That other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would say salads for sure. I think about it more than with salads than sandwiches.
Yeah. I do it like steak. There's a certain place that like just does a much better job than I do at home with steak.
Oh, I think you do a good job with steak.
Well, thanks. But yeah, like
it's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's my sandwich is not, no.
You do these turkey clubs that are outstanding.
You know the best part about that is?
It's quick.
I don't eat it. I hate it. There's a lot of things that I do that I don't eat that just you guys eat, and I'm not gonna know if it's good or not good.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm just guessing.
Now, I can't even say this because it's not right. I was gonna say, I can make a good bowl of cereal, but
not to me though.
Not to you because
I have a different.
You drown your cereal in milk, where I don't want too much milk. I want to be able to finish that last bite of cereal and almost have nothing.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you'll cover your cereal with milk, and I'll. Not so much for me.
So sorry.
All right, let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating here this morning. Today's the 5th day, right? 5th day of June.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who's celebrating a birthday today?
Musician Kenny G is 69 today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of Bad Mom's Christmas. Actor Ron Livingston is 58. Singer Brian McKnight is 56. Actor Mark Wahlberg is 54. Actress Liza Well is 48. Rocker Pete Wentz is 46. And that is all.
Well, happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you. If today happens to be your birthday from all of us, what are we celebrating here tonight?
All right.
Or today?
Are you ready?
Yep.
Earth Overshoot Day. Hot Air Balloon Day.
Oh, Thurston Classic coming
up. Yep.
Father's Day weekend, right?
Yeah. International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. That's a long one. National Gingerbread Day. National Gingerbread Day in the middle of June. Okay. National Lincoln Loud Day. National Moonshine Day. National Sorry I Was on a Boat Day. National Veggie Burger Day. Orthodox Ascension Day. Sausage Roll Day. Thank You Day. World Environment Day. National Commuter Challenge. And then this, oh no, we're not. I'm pushing for the weekend.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, what's the boat thing?
Sorry, I was on a boat.
Sorry, I was on a boat day.
Yeah.
With my pony.
Good Lord.
I'm going to listen to that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to celebrate that today by listening to Lyle Lovett. If I
had a boat.
If I had a boat.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a pony.
What?
No, I was just thinking of the words. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Are you okay?
Trust me. Check it out. Lyle Lovett. If I had a boat.
Okay.
All right. Great music open mic.
Oh yeah, tonight is the night.
At the train station.
OC&T. Here we go. 5 o'clock. Good times.
All are welcome to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Open mic at the OC&T. It's a great setting. It really is cool.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And there's some snacks and drinks and even if you're not a musician, you just want to listen.
Oh, yeah.
Come, listen.
Yep.
It's great.
A lot of fun. Let's go through some sports scores real quick, and we'll start with the Major League Baseball scores from last night. Rockies batting the way past the Marlins 3-2. Brewers over the Reds 9-1. Red Sox beat the Angels 11-9. The Pirates over the Astros 3-0. Nationals with a 2-0 win over the Cubs. Guardians beat the Yankees 4-0. Blue Jays with a 2-1 win over the Phillies. Braves fell to the Diamondbacks 2-1. Rays over the Rangers 5-4. Tigers over the White Sox 5-4. Orioles with the win over the Mariners 3-2. Giants beat the Padres 6-5. It was the Twins over the A's 6-1. Mets beat the Dodgers 6-1. The Royals and Cardinals game postponed yesterday. There's I don't think I have time to pull this story up. I'll see if I can find it for tomorrow. But it has to do with the Rockies. Colorado's only won 12 games. And it was just the story was more about Scotty Scheffler's won more games in May, more matches in May than the Rockies won games, basically. It was just funny comparison. Braves and Diamondbacks at 12:15. Cardinals and Royals at 1:45. White Sox and Tigers today at 2:10. Blue Jays and Phillies at 3:07. A's and Twins at 3:35. Mariners have the Orioles at 3:40. Giants and Padres 3:45. Dodgers and Mets at 4:10. Pirates and the Astros again tonight at 6:40. Nationals and Cubs at 6:45. Yankees and Guardians at 7:05. That's in New York. Tampa Bay and the Rangers at 7:35. And at 7:45, Cardinals and Royals. When you look at the National League Central Division, the Pirates have 23 wins, 39 losses. And they sit behind Cincinnati, who sits behind Milwaukee, who sits behind St. Louis, who sits behind the Chicago Cubs with a 38-23 record. American League Central Division, Cleveland sliding a bit. You have Detroit, 41 wins, 22 losses. Then Minnesota, 34 wins, 27 losses. Cleveland with 33 wins, 27 losses, 6.5 games back. Kansas City and the White Sox fill out the American League Central Division. So Detroit with 41 wins, and that's the most in Major League Baseball right now. Coming up on 8 o'clock, we got great local programming continuing on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. We'll continue our third hour online on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and on our website, streammedia.tv. And if you go there, you can find those other places to watch. We've got next hour Crawford County Commissioner Scott Schell joining us here this morning. So looking forward to catching up with our commissioners, get a snapshot of what's going on with the county and what's coming up project-wise this summer. Hard to believe we're just into June.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Forecast-wise, looking at partly cloudy skies. Now, thunderstorms developing this afternoon, gusty winds, small hail are possible, and a high today in the low 80s. So should be a decent day other than that threat of thunderstorms, which could be severe. Overcast tonight, stray shower thunderstorm possible with lows in the low 60s. Friday, thunderstorms and 74. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a travel ban on nationals of 12 countries, barring them from entering the United States. He said the executive order he signed Wednesday was needed to protect against what he called foreign terrorists and other security threats. In a video posted to X, he specifically mentioned Sunday's attack in Colorado that targeted a pro-Israel march.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas.
Egypt is not on the list of countries facing travel limits, even though the suspect in the Boulder firebomb attack was an Egyptian national. However, Trump said the list could be revised and new countries could be added. Starting June 9th, there will be a total ban on nationals from Afghanistan, Yemen and Iran in the Middle East, Myanmar and Haiti, and those from 7 African nations such as Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. Meanwhile, there'll be partial restrictions on people from 7 other countries. In that list, there's Cuba, Laos, Venezuela, and Sierra Leone. These all echo an entry ban Trump imposed at the start of his first term on several mainly Muslim countries. That ban was repealed by the Biden administration later on. Then, in a campaign speech in October 2023, Trump previewed a plan to restrict people from Gaza, Libya, Somalia, and other places.
If you're coming from somewhere full of people who want to kill Americans, we will not let you in.
Wednesday's new bans are part of a broader immigration crackdown since the start of Trump's second term. In January 2025, he issued an executive order beefing up security vetting of foreigners seeking admission to the U.S. to root out national security threats. That order directed several cabinet members to give a list of countries to suspend travel from because their, quote, vetting and screening information is so deficient. In response to Trump's order Wednesday, Venezuela's Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, called the U.S. government fascist on state TV.
Honestly, being in the US is a big risk for anyone, not just Venezuelans. If you're really that foolish, then go to the United States.
Somalia immediately pledged to work with Washington to address security issues, according to a statement from its ambassador to the U.S.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
For a unique shopping experience with great gift ideas, decor, and so much more, come check out what Titusville Market Square's nearly 100 vendors have to offer. Featuring unique items from local agribusiness, craftsmen, and vendors, we also offer products from 4 regional dairies, including a full line of Titusville dairy products. We carry a complete line of Amish wedding products, local honey, and maple syrup, as well as nostalgic Dog and Suds root beer and Fiestada pizzas. Don't forget to pick up fresh Clark's Donuts, delivered daily. Titusville Market Square, the new name in one-stop shopping.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh!
Me.
Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Wednesday, with the Dow dropping about 0.2%, the S&P 500 finishing flat, and the Nasdaq ticking up about 0.3%. Investors were focused on tariff negotiations, with President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping expected to speak sometime this week. Wednesday was President Trump's deadline for trading partners to make their best offers to keep further tariffs from taking effect in early July. But Regan Capital's chief investment officer, Skylar Wynand, says a resolution to trade uncertainty could still be a ways off.
Well, we've got about 3.5 years left in this administration. We got about 1.5 years until the midterms. We really won't see any true resolution until one of those two at least take place, at least until the midterms. China spent something like $280 billion bolstering auto manufacturing. They've been playing this game for a long time of onshoring, and the United States is just getting to play this game of onshoring, and onshoring is going to take 5 to 10 years.
Early stock market gains on Wednesday evaporated later in the session as weak data for May revealed the toll President Trump's erratic trade policies have taken on the U.S. economy. Last month, the services sector contracted for the first time in nearly a year, and the ADP National Employment Report showed U.S. private employers added the fewest number of workers in more than 2 years. Stocks on the move Wednesday included Tesla, which fell 3.5% as the electric vehicle maker's sales dropped for the 5th straight month in big European markets. Shares of Meta Platforms jumped more than 3% after J.P. Morgan raised its price target on the stock. And shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose after the company reported second quarter revenue and profit that beat estimates, driven by demand for its artificial intelligence servers and hybrid cloud segment.
Well, Mr. Joseph Anderson joins us here this morning from the Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home. Joe, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
First of all, we got to talk about this. Congratulations. There's sort of been a changing of the guard at the Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, and this has been in place now for a while, but kind of tell us about some of the changes that have been going on.
Yeah, first, just want to say that I've had funerals that are more hopeful than that forecast you just read, because that's not good for golf. That's not good for anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so brief history on the Garrett Funeral Home. My grandfather came to work here in 1957 for Mr. E.A. Peterson. Mr. Peterson unfortunately passed away not long into my grandfather being here. So he operated the funeral home as the manager until 1965, bought the business from Mrs. Peterson in 1965, ran it until, I don't know, early to mid-2000s, and my uncle Todd Garrett bought the business from him. But my grandfather worked, I mean, they weren't in Florida, he was always there, and he always liked, it was his passion, he enjoyed being there. Todd always told us that he didn't want that for us. He wanted a succession plan, and so that he would not be there when he's 80 years old working the door. And so we've stuck to that. And so last year, January 1, 2024, he officially handed the reins over to his son, my cousin Jack Garrett, and myself. So we have been buying the business from him. He's off doing other exciting things. And so that's been the, certainly a new adventure. You're used to one person, leading the charge, and now we're there. But trying to make decisions.
You also have some great staff members who have been there for a long time that I'm sure provide some advice.
Jay Pertz has been there for over 40 years, and I told him he can never retire. He has to be there. Mark Hopwood's been there for many years, a funeral assistant. My mom, she is... she gave me my allowance when I was 10. She still pays me today. Thankfully, she does all the book work and the accounting, and so be lost without all the people that help. But so it's a.
Basically, it's a very family run business. I mean, from that perspective, when you look at family, even Jay and Mark, I mean, they're family, right? And the friendliness that you're providing those folks that are coming through the door, and probably a very tough time for them. That's very important to you to continue that tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we love our community. We're all involved in different things, whether it's church or, as we were just talking earlier, Little League. I mean, these are our friends or our family, extended family. So we want everyone to, there's a saying by Dr. Alan Wolford, who's an author on grief psychology, and he says, when death occurs, we are all unprepared. I mean, we just can't really prepare fully. And so we hope to be the place that when that happens, you come and at least you feel comfortable, us, we're friends, and that eases the burden a little bit of what you're going through. So.
Some additional things that might be changing, some work around the property itself.
Yes, I think people are used to seeing us out in the yard, trying to make it greener than it was the day before, and pulling every weed. And
do people ask you to start like a landscape service as well? Because you guys do have a beautiful.
People ask, yeah. I mean, but really, there's sometimes 4 of us out there in the yard pulling weeds and mowing. So not everybody has that at their house, and it just comes down to that. We take time to mow and manicure and treat it and all the things and flowers. Unfortunately, I love history. I love the history of Titusville. I love the architecture. We have the building itself, our front of the house is an old oil mansion. I believe it's one of the Henney families, and it has been added on to a few times, but the original house is still there. In the back of the house, in the back of our driveway, you'll see what is we call it the carriage house, the barn. We use it as our garage, and it is the same age as the house. Unfortunately, though, when that was built, it was not built on a very sturdy foundation. It was built on railroad ties that have since rotted throughout the years. We noticed issues 10 years ago that the cupola seemed to be pushing down and pushing the back wall out. The utility wires are right there. So we've been trying for years to get people in and give us your opinion. What do you think we should do? How can we pull this together? So we've had structural engineers, we've had contractors, we've had Mennonite, Amish, your brother's cousins, know-it-all expert when it comes to foundation work. All of them have come in, and all of them have said the same thing. You need to tear it down. It's too far gone. It's not. It would cost 5 times what it would be to rebuild it. So this next week, if you walk by the funeral home, you'll see we're going to have a team of guys come in. They're going to tear it down by hand so that we can save every good piece of lumber, every beam that somebody would want. The weather vane that sits on top, we're going to take that off, get it powder coated, and put back on the new one. But yes, the building is going to come down, and we're going to rebuild it in likeness, not as high, not as big, but it will be same look, same color, trying to keep so it looks like it belongs with the house.
That's great.
And keeping all of the wood that we can inside to people that want it. So trying to preserve, but at the same time, it is coming down.
Yeah. Well, it would have been easy just to say, hey, we're going to take it down and then just put something else up. But it sounds like there's been a lot of careful thought into saying, we want to kind of rebuild what was there and keep that history alive.
Yeah, last year, I don't know, January, February, we got connected with LIGO Architects out of Slippery Rock and explained this to them. This is important that we have a garage that looks like it needs to be here, not just a 4-stall garage that has space that we can put our stuff in. We want it to look like it belongs here in Titusville with the corresponding architecture. So they drew some pretty amazing plans, I think. It's a lot of back and forth. Everything takes way longer than you think. I thought we'd be doing this last year, so we're a year plus into it, but excited for to be able to use it. It's more functional and it's safe. It's been the one engineer told us, he said, if we get real heavy snowfall, I wouldn't be surprised the whole thing just collapses on itself.
Wow.
So all winter long, I've just been, just kind of like, oh boy, please don't be the one that,
And this was the winter we had.
Yeah, and this was the winter, and every time I would see the forecast, I was like, is this the day that it's gonna, but thankfully we got through winter. So just peace of mind knowing it'll be a safer building.
Well, you were saying that you're only using a small part of that large structure to begin with. So now, once it's rebuilt, you actually have, storage space.
Yeah. Right now, it does its job. It houses our vehicles and some mowers, but that's about it. The upstairs we can't use. Some of the side rooms we cannot use. So yeah, excited to have a building that you can maximize space. And really, we do a lot of other work in our garage now too. So just having a more secure location, that's the goal.
Yeah. So expected time that they'll be working on this?
The guys that are coming in to do the teardown are starting Tuesday, hopefully, and then contractors, all local guys, will start building foundation work probably June, and then building it up starting end of June, early July, and hope to have it, near completion this fall.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
excited, but also understand that it's not going to be everybody's favorite thing to see a building coming down in historic Titusville, but we're doing our best to make it best of both worlds, I guess.
That's what you call respectable there.
Trying.
Right there. So, yeah,
Trying.
that's good. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joe Anderson with us here this morning from the Garrett Funeral Home. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. And, we were talking about just a difficult time for individuals, for families, when there's a passing of a loved one or a friend. And there's so much that's going through that it's hard for a lot of people to process everything all at once, and you're making decisions. While it doesn't take the pain away, it can make the process easier if you pre-plan for a funeral. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and shout out to the Benson Memorial Library. They hosted a forum or just a community gathering a couple months ago. It was myself, Schell, Joyce, attorney, and Hospice of Crawford County. And we just, as we're always trying to do, talk about planning. And it's the last thing you want to talk about planning for. But I've yet to meet anybody, and any funeral director would probably say the same, that came in that had things prearranged, had their affairs in order, that did not mention out loud, I am so glad we did this. I'm so glad we were prepared. It was just so much easier. I got so many things going on in my mind. I've got things that I don't want to think about, and this is already done. So while it isn't something that we want to talk about, it's not easy to talk about, it is so important. And I understand there's different layers to that. just doing an inventory of what do you have, what stuff that you have, and maybe going and talking to an estate attorney, setting up a will, finding out who your beneficiaries are, finding out how much stuff do you have, how assets do you have that you need to account for. That alone does a lot. And then on top of that, those people that come in and they say, hey, I just want to give you some information. I want to talk to you. You had my family, mom, dad. I want to give you some of my information. These are some things that I would like, but I don't really want to talk about all of it. I just want to give you some info. That's fine. Some people want to come in and I want to pick out to the memorial card. I want everything written down. So when this happens, my family knows exactly what I want and they don't have to make any decisions. And that's great. But on the other side of it, it does catch people off guard, and people that come in that, well, what do you think mom wants? What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Well, what did their dad do? And we kind of have to break down best decisions, what we think, and it does add stress. So preparation is key, and we are very blessed in this town with I think some excellent state attorneys, Schaefer Law Firm, Schell Joyce, and others. They just do such a good job of preparing people, giving you a checklist, because everybody's situation is different. I mean, there are people that are different stages of life, if they're going into a nursing home or long care rehab, things that they need to have in order. There's just so much and so many rules and so many laws for each individual. It's not the same. So preparation is key, but these people are so good at telling you what you should do and getting a checklist together just to prevent you from losing things that you don't want to lose in the end. So
what's the process like? Do they call and schedule an appointment to sit down with you? Is there a packet that you give? I mean, kind of walk through that process.
Yeah, so we have on our website, if you go to GarrettFuneralHomeInc.com, there is a tab there that says prearranged. Some people don't want to talk. They don't want to come in and speak to us, or they don't want to talk on the phone, which is fine. And you can get on there, you can fill a form out, and that kicks over to our email, and then we can email back and forth. I can tell you some things that we need. Some people, though, most people would call and they say, hey, I'd like to come in and just talk. Just like we're doing right now, we'll sit down and we'll talk. Better chance than not, we had somebody in your family, and I'll just kind of look up and go, compare family history, and we'll sit down and go through what are your wishes. And that's an ever-changing thing. When my grandfather did this, everybody did the same thing. There was a visitation the day before, there was a funeral the next day, and everybody went to the cemetery. And then they probably went somewhere for a lunch. And that was pretty much consistent for every funeral they had. Now, there's choices. You can be buried, or you can be cremated. And if you're going to be either of those two, are you going to have a service? Are we going to have a funeral service? Are you going to have some visitation before that? And most people say the same thing. I don't need any of that. I don't need anybody. I don't want a viewing. Nobody needs to see me. And I understand that. And I probably don't care what would happen to me but I understand that I have family and you have family. And whether we think that we're helping by not having anything and we're just bury me, just cremate me, it is so much more beneficial to have some kind of service. And that is what we try to talk about the most. Once we get information, we have your family history, your background, things that you've done. In talking about service, that is where we try to explain the benefits of service and bringing your family and friends together, even if it's just for an hour, even if it's just for it's not a 3-day. And I think a lot of people think, well, back in the day, I don't want all of that, and I totally understand. But having a service is so important. Whether there's a casket there, or whether there's an urn there, or just a picture or something, it is so important to. Every life deserves honor. Every life deserves to be celebrated. And we as humans, I think, we think we're helping our family by don't worry about that. Don't just save and don't waste your time with that. I don't need all those things, but it's important. It helps us grieve. We're going to grieve, and we can choose to do that alone, or we can choose to bring family and friends together. Maybe it's public, maybe it's private, but the thing that we like to say is it's just easier for people to come in to our building where it's a peaceful environment to give you a hug and say, I'm sorry for your loss, rather than where they would see you at Walmart or somewhere where it's just that's not where that moment needs to be, but it happens. And so we're just pro-service, I guess, more than anything. And so that's what we explain those things and the many different options that can be. But I think ultimately we want to see people's lives celebrated. We want to see people in our community be able to come in and pay their respects to other family, other community members, and that's our desire. So.
Is part of that if somebody wanted to pay ahead of time, so they're not worrying about it once there, or have a payment plan? What sort of options are there?
Yeah, great question. So if some people they want to come in, hey, I want to prepay this, and they write a check, we take that money, and we, by law, we put that money in an account that grows in interest, and that money is specifically used for your funeral cremation expenses, and that it does not count against you as an asset if you had to go into a nursing home or something like that. That would not count against you. That money is set aside, it's protected. Other people, they say, hey, I have an insurance policy. I want to make you guys the beneficiary of that. So people come in, and again, depending on the insurance company, people will do an assignment. They'll change the beneficiary, the ownership of the policy to us. That also protects it. That's, the state recognizes that that's being used for your funeral expenses, so that it gets out of your name, it's in our name, and we'll, when the time comes, claim those funds. Some people come in, they say, hey, I have X amount of dollars, and I just want to put towards it. And in next year at this time, I'm going to put X amount more towards it. That's fine, and we'll do that. We'll start an account for you. People just make steady payments over the years, and that what they have is what they have. Other people, they have things set up in a trust. Again, if they've went to an attorney and they have things set up through an attorney's office, then the estate will take care of it. So a lot of different options.
So the best thing is to call, maybe schedule that appointment to sit down with you and then have this conversation, or you can start by going on the website, getting some information there. Joe, good to see you this morning. Again, there's a lot of options there. So tell us how they can get a hold of you if they want to call.
Yeah, you call the funeral home, 814-827-2631. You can get on our website, just shoot us a message, say, hey, I'd like to stop in. You can drop by, ring the doorbell. Usually somebody's there. We might not be able to meet you that day, but definitely we'll get you in. We've got different brochures and packets of things we'll give you, things you can read about. Maybe you're not sure what you want. Maybe you just want to come in and talk and review things, and we'll do that too. So a lot of different options. Or if you see me at a Little League baseball field or wrestling tournament or somewhere, I'm usually somewhere around town, just grab a hold of me and tell me you want to come in, and we'll do that.
Joe, good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here.
US President Donald Trump has signed a travel ban on nationals of 12 countries, barring them from entering the United States. He said the executive order he signed Wednesday was needed to protect against what he called foreign terrorists and other security threats. In a video posted to X, he specifically mentioned Sunday's attack in Colorado that targeted a pro-Israel march.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas.
Egypt is not on the list of countries facing travel limits, even though the suspect in the Boulder firebomb attack was an Egyptian national. However, Trump said the list could be revised and new countries could be added. Starting June 9th, there will be a total ban on nationals from Afghanistan, Yemen and Iran in the Middle East, Myanmar and Haiti, and those from 7 African nations such as Somalia, Sudan and Libya. Meanwhile, there'll be partial restrictions on people from 7 other countries. In that list, there's Cuba, Laos, Venezuela, and Sierra Leone. These all echo an entry ban Trump imposed at the start of his first term on several mainly Muslim countries. That ban was repealed by the Biden administration later on. Then, in a campaign speech in October 2023, Trump previewed a plan to restrict people from Gaza, Libya, Somalia, and other places.
If you're coming from somewhere full of people who want to kill Americans, we will not let you in.
Wednesday's new bans are part of a broader immigration crackdown since the start of Trump's second term. In January 2025, he issued an executive order beefing up security vetting of foreigners seeking admission to the U.S. to root out national security threats. That order directed several cabinet members to give a list of countries to suspend travel from because their, quote, vetting and screening information is so deficient. In response to Trump's order Wednesday, Venezuela's Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, called the U.S. government fascist on state TV.
En verdad, estar en Estados Unidos.
Honestly, being in the US is a big risk for anyone, not just Venezuelans. If you're really that foolish, then go to the United States.
Somalia immediately pledged to work with Washington to address security issues, according to a statement from its ambassador to the US.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Wednesday, with the Dow dropping about 0.2%, the S&P 500 finishing flat, and the Nasdaq ticking up about 0.3%. Investors were focused on tariff negotiations, with President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping expected to speak sometime this week. Wednesday was President Trump's deadline for trading partners to make their best offers to keep further tariffs from taking effect in early July. But Regan Capital's chief investment officer, Skylar Wynand, says a resolution to trade uncertainty could still be a ways off.
Well, we've got about 3.5 years left in this administration. We got about 1.5 years until the midterms. We really won't see any true resolution until one of those two at least take place, at least until the midterms. China spent something like $280 billion bolstering auto manufacturing. They've been playing this game for a long time of onshoring, and the United States is just getting to play this game of onshoring, and onshoring is going to take 5 to 10 years.
Early stock market gains on Wednesday evaporated later in the session as weak data for May revealed the toll President Trump's erratic trade policies have taken on the U.S. economy. Last month, the services sector contracted for the first time in nearly a year, and the ADP National Employment Report showed U.S. private employers added the fewest number of workers in more than 2 years. Stocks on the move Wednesday included Tesla, which fell 3.5% as the electric vehicle maker's sales dropped for the 5th straight month in big European markets. Shares of Meta Platforms jumped more than 3% after J.P. Morgan raised its price target on the stock. And shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise rose after the company reported second quarter revenue and profit that beat estimates, driven by demand for its artificial intelligence servers and hybrid cloud segment.
With us this morning, Crawford County Commissioner Scott Schell. Scott, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me over.
Getting some beautiful days.
Starting to shape up pretty good, yeah. But then again, it'll probably be 40 degrees again by tomorrow.
That's so, right. Yeah. We were not complaining. We were talking about it's so great to finally get some nice weather, and then you forget it's also PennDOT season and they got to do what they got to do. But when you think all right, time to hit the road in the morning, and you got time to enjoy it, it's like, oh, stop.
Exactly.
Wait.
It was that way this morning driving over here from the other end of the county, and you run into road construction everywhere.
Yeah. So give yourself time if you're heading out for things.
Absolutely.
Does that bring up anything that's going on with the county? Any projects that you guys are working on this summer, or
other than the county owns many bridges. I don't know if the general public understands that, but the county owns a lot of bridges. And there are some bridges who are now out of service completely because they didn't pass the inspection. And even to replace a small bridge can get into the millions of dollars. So we're working with that with PennDOT. It's a team effort. The county maintenance department heads that up. And so I realize it gets to be an inconvenience for a lot of people, especially out in rural areas. But those are things we are working at, and see if we can resolve the issue.
Yeah. Are those spread out, the inspections themselves, are they spread out over a course of a year, or is there a certain time of year where your inspectors will go out and do all the bridges?
They have it all on a schedule as to what they're going to do, and that comes, the inspector actually comes from PennDOT.
Okay.
So they have it all mapped out.
So they're not coming to you and saying, the one time a year and going, okay, you got, 75 bridges that need replaced all at once.
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't work that way.
But as you said, it is very expensive.
Yes.
Is that one of those conversations that have to take place to figure out, okay, this year, what can we do?
What can we do? What can't we do? Is it cost effective? I don't know anybody in the world that can just say we have an extra $1 million laying here to throw at a project. So it's got to be planned out, and if we can find a something to do to repair the present situation, we will do that if it'll give us a couple 3 years.
Okay.
Of letting that bridge stay open.
So that was my next question: is how often are they coming to you and it's like you have to close this immediately, versus, hey, we've been watching this for a couple years now, and this is something that within so many years you'll have to.
We usually have leeway.
Okay.
To figure out what we're going to do, but every once in a while you get that surprise where something has eroded or something has rusted apart and nobody was aware of it.
Yeah. Well, and you think there was that incident, out Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and I'm sure that was a bridge that was recently inspected, but
right.
You just don't know with the elements that we have, and you get a winter like this, which we haven't had in a while, and what does that do?
Yeah, the salt and everything that's on the road, and that starts corroding everything, concrete, steel.
Yeah. County vehicles.
Oh, we have a lot of county vehicles. But you know what? I will give the prior Board of Commissioners, I will give them credit for starting to reduce the number of county vehicles. And even since I've been on board here now for the last year and a half, along with Commissioner Seeley, we've reduced that number just a little bit more. But there's an awful lot of people who need county vehicles, and nobody gets to take your county vehicle home with you. But Human Services and CYS, and they all need to transport children and adults, and we are constantly replacing vehicles one or two at a time, just because they've been on the road for years. They get up around over 100,000 miles, and it's time to get rid of them because it's no longer cost effective to repair them. It's better just to buy a new one.
I couldn't imagine looking at the cost of you get a vehicle up there like that, and I understand putting a little bit in at first money wise, but it just seems like probably the more you have it, the more repairs that will go into it.
And it's just like having your own vehicle at home. At some point in time, you can't repair them anymore, and you got to replace it. So.
Yeah. Is it difficult when somebody says to you, well, why can't you just cut here, you've been around for a while, and even Christopher Seeley's been in there, where departments, what people are working with. So to be able to say, oh yeah, on the outside, yes, it might make sense to move a department from one place to another or to cut here, but the reality is you're looking at this chain of events, right? If something happens at the top, then it affects a lot of things.
Right. We've been trying to relocate some different departments, like the district justice office in Meadville is moving into the courthouse on the second floor of what used to be courtrooms up there, and that stuff's being remodeled right now. Adult probation's also being moved to that floor, and that way we're not paying rent on these other buildings that we're handling at the present moment. But you got to take all that into consideration. What's the traffic flow like? How many people are coming? How many people are going? The Veterans Office is still at the downtown mall in Meadville, but that's very convenient. And they have a very large number of clientele and the elderly veterans. And it's very convenient for them just to get out right at the door and come in and handle whatever they have to.
Yeah.
So you got to take that into consideration. How many people, who's coming, who's going, and what do we got to handle there? So.
And that's just Mr. Amato going in there, right? That's
yeah. John's in there every day.
Yeah. So let's backtrack a little bit. May was a busy month for you. For those who forgot, there was a primary in May.
There was a primary, and it wasn't overly active, but there was some major races within the county. The district magistrate here over here in Titusville, the treasurer's office. Christine Kresiak's going to retire after putting in years of service. So those were some situations that were very interesting to watch. The school board races.
Pencrest had a big race, or was
yes.
Okay,
and
which they've had the last several cycles.
Yeah, they have. It was very difficult to sit down and count everything we had to count for those people, and to accept what write-in names we can accept. And some people are very happy, and some people aren't very happy with us at all. I'm sorry, we followed the rules.
Yeah. So in terms of voter turnout, what kind of numbers were you looking at? Was it disappointing, or
it was very low? It was very low. We probably 20% maybe.
So that's about, I think, for. And again, I really, you know me, I hate these terms. I love politics and election cycles, right. But those cycles tend to get that lower turnout. The off-year elections, but I hate that term.
But this last presidential election, which there are multiple people, just not Crawford County, but everywhere, that only vote in presidential elections.
Yeah,
they don't participate anything else. But voter turnout was 80%.
Wow.
So,
but these are the elections that affect us.
Yes.
Treasurer, school board,
right?
City council. Commissioner races, all these, these
and
local.
There just wasn't, just doesn't seem to be the interest there.
I tell you, the other thing that kind of ties in with that too is finding the people to run for these seats, because I don't know if it's people just don't want to be attacked online or in social media or what it is, but
well, if you're going to be in the public eye, you're going to get attacked, and that's just a part of life right there. So you better have some tough skin or get out of the game. Yeah, it was, if you looked at the local races, the boroughs and the townships, a lot of offices, no one ran at all. Wow. That's very, very disappointing. But yeah, a lot of vacant spots this year.
Is this discussed at the county level, or are there organizations having these conversations? Is there anything to be done? Could you have a night where you invite, potential candidates and maybe learn from elected officials to say this is really what's going to happen?
Just recently, Commissioner Seeley had brought that up, that maybe we should look into offering some type of informative class, so to say, for people who think they may be interested, and what procedures they have to go through to do that. I think that's a great idea. Once again, it's the interest out there for people to really want to.
Well, and we can get into this too a little bit, because it's not just these elected, officials that these openings that we might have on these seats, but you look at volunteerism, it's down. Obviously, volunteer fire department struggling. You see it across the board. So it's not just isolated to that one thing. It's across the board.
It's across the board. So, and as you mentioned, the emergency services is suffering greatly because about 99% of our emergency responders are volunteers. The city of Titusville, city of Meadville, very fortunate to have paid people in their stations. The rest of the county is not that lucky.
Yeah.
But if you look in your community, if you look at your Rotary clubs and your Lions clubs, and they're just dwindling down to, and in fact, some of them have even just closed their doors because just didn't have the people to do it. So.
Well, and if you think, you mentioned Meadville and Titusville with their paid, but you got to imagine as, cities are struggling with budgets, those conversations do pop up from time to time. So it's challenging.
Exactly. Where do you draw the line on sacrificing emergency services? The object of the game is if you need help, somebody needs to show up. And as I said on the volunteer end of things, in our county right now, you're not guaranteed somebody's going to show up.
Yeah.
Or at least show up in a reasonable amount of time. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. And I know until it hits you, that might be that realization where it's like, okay, we need to do something. But for most of us who are going, day to day, not thinking about it, you might want to stop and think about it.
Yeah. And you don't usually think about it until you need something urgently and you end up waiting an hour.
That's right.
Yeah.
So with the primary, that's all done. Everything's counted, and
everything was adjudicated and tabulated, and we just finished up yesterday.
Okay.
The last thing on the list was we had to take 2% random ballots from around the entire county. 2% of them, and actually had to sit there and read them one at a time. For people who think you can just count votes, 65 votes took us a couple hours just to get through 65. So when you have thousands and thousands, I don't know, you'd be sitting there for hours.
Did Mickey Mouse get a couple votes?
Mickey Mouse always gets votes. Donald Duck.
Okay.
Any movie star, Taylor Swift got a lot of votes.
You smile, but the reality is you have to count those.
We
right?
have to write them down and count them. So for everybody who thinks this is funny, and some of them are very humorous, I will admit to that, we still have to write it down and document it, and it remains in the record. I don't know if people realize that or not.
Yeah, wow. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Crawford County Commissioner Scott Schell with us here this morning. Obviously, the next thing would be the general election in November. And it's like, okay, that's a ways away. But the reality is the way these years are flying, it's going to come quickly here.
Yes.
So what do you do? What's the next steps to prepare for the fall?
Well, the results are in from the primary. That'll go to the Voter Services Office. They'll start getting everything lined up for the fall. Make sure the ballots are printed properly for each precinct. It's all time consuming, and the Voter Services Office does a great job. We'll just wait and help them out with that.
Yeah.
But they'll handle everything here for the next few months, and then they'll ask the commissioners to get involved with some other items along the way.
All the voting precincts pretty much going to stay the same, do you know, for fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they are. I don't know of any changes we have to make this year. We had to make some last year.
Yeah.
But I can see in the future, I can see Crawford County in the future having to go to voting centers. All the precincts we have, we really struggled to get the manpower to operate those precincts.
And those are paid
And you get
too.
paid. And we actually gave them a raise this year too. But it's I think you're going to see voting centers in Crawford County because we don't have the people to operate them.
Wow. All right, let's. The other thing that's coming up rather quickly, the Crawford County Fair. What again? You drive past almost any time of the year, but now that we're into the summer months, something's always going on up there.
Something's always going on at that fairgrounds. There's a group of people that think we don't utilize it enough, and if you actually sit down and look at the schedule of events that are going on up there, it's busy. The horse shows. Almost every weekend there's some type of horse event going on there. Tons of people rent the home show buildings for weddings, reunions, whatever the case may be. There's a livestock show coming up here real quick. It's just always something going on. Crawford County Fire School is held there, and it gets used a whole lot. Yeah.
Anything major in terms of just renovation work up there before the fair starts in August?
The big thing this year was some roofs were replaced on some of the bigger buildings. Just things you had to do. New metal roofs were put on.
It's always amazing to see what it takes to prepare for that busy time of the year.
Yeah, well, first of all, the fair board's a good group of people. And there's many people on the fair board. Everybody has their own little world of expertise, and you don't realize that till you sit down with them. You know, there's a guy that handles bunny rabbits, and a guy that handles ducks, and then cows and horses, and then all the concession stands, and then all the amusement rides, and plus all the other little booths along the way. Every organization has something going on, and everybody has their own little knack, and it all falls together.
You know, it seemed to me that there was a reset a few years ago to where you actually looked and said, okay, or the fair board did, and said, okay, we got to kind of reset ourselves here, look at our finances, get in the black, then we can start having conversations about other things. And it seems like now you've had a few years of that where now they can start having conversations about, do we look at different entertainment?
Well, this year, I guess there's some very good entertainment coming this year. I'm not a follower of that style of music, but I guess these people are very popular that are coming in. But that gets expensive, and the days of probably the days of superstars coming to Crawford County is over.
Sure,
we just can't afford that. But I think you'll see some good entertainment this year. I think you'll, as always, what amazes me is, regardless of who you bring in for entertainment, the biggest thing that draws the crowd every year, by far, that fills the grandstand and all the bleachers, is Demolition Derby. So.
Do they do that a couple nights?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's packed. Always packed. Now, the other thing, please understand, when you go to the fair, go through the barns, visit the 4-H kids.
Right.
It's incredible. You talk about work ethic and just good people. There's some amazing folks down there.
Take your time and walk through there. It's amazing what you will see these young people doing.
So I'm trying to think, and this is probably a fair board question, but the schedule of events, that'll start eking out when? End of July now?
Yeah, some of it's already sneaking out. But yeah, real soon you'll be able to see everything.
All right. Anything else going on in the county you want people to know about?
Hey, at the present moment, we're just trying to get the political end of things taken care of, which we did, and we're just going to keep moving on to try to save us money wherever we can save it. And the object of the game is, let's not raise anybody's taxes unless we absolutely have
to. We're 6 months into this year. Everything kind of holding tight from the budget, or
okay, we're doing extremely well.
All right, because that's the thing, you never know, right? Something could pop up where now we have to find some money and
but luckily we have some great people in finance, and they kind of plan ahead for those little bumps in the road.
That's good. Yeah. All right, Crawford County Commissioner Scott Schell joining us. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All the best.
Thank you very much for letting me come over to Titusville.
And if anybody wants to attend a meeting,
we're every Wednesday morning. We have a work session one week and a regular meeting the next, 9:30 in the Commissioner's Conference Room. You're all welcome to attend. It's open to the public.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.